Go. You found the button already?
Yes, thank you.
Very good. Let's cool this car down a little bit. This, when you open the doors, all the heat comes in, but okay.
Yeah.
Give it a second. You guys are going to the airport, right?
Yes.
Ready? Let's get you there safely. Before I start, do I have your permission to record the ride for my YouTube channel?
Sure.
Yeah? Yeah? This is okay?
Yeah.
Alright, great. So,
if you don't want to back out, you can pull through the garage there.
oh, I can?
Yeah.
And then come out on the other side?
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is faster. I mean, we're not in a hurry, but, you know.
Well, sometimes it's very busy, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if it's very busy, then that would be easier. Do you live here?
No, my sister has a condo there.
And it was not affected by the storm?
No, well, the lobby was, but not their place. They were up on the
Only the
second.
lobby? Okay. Because all of this was like, was a disaster after the storm.
Yeah. It's hard to believe there's still so many working on it.
There's so much work to be done, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there really is.
I never knew that salt water and sewage can do so much damage.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just amazing. Yeah, and it's also not really normal seawater, right? It's really like sewage, and it's just this gook that's floating around, and
Right, and they were saying,
horrible.
they're still saying not to really swim because they don't know what's in the water, like cars and
It's true.
appliances and all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. That is true.
Yeah, this is one of the heaviest hit
Yeah.
areas in Naples, I think. Yeah, and then there was of course downtown. But I'm happy for your sister. That's good. So you guys came to visit. Where you from?
Yes, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Ah. What's there to do in Pittsburgh?
A lot to do downtown.
Yeah.
Hockey and baseball and football.
Name me some teams.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, of course, yeah, I've heard of
Pittsburgh
those.
Penguins is the hockey.
The Penguins. Who comes up with a name like that?
And Pittsburgh Pirates is the baseball.
I mean, Pittsburgh
Right,
Penguins.
yeah.
I get it, but still, I mean, penguins don't strike me as fantastic sporty animals, kind of. like the other day, I saw the sports team, and the name had something to do with the haha mushrooms or something. And I would go like, "What? You don't call a sports team like that?"
That's
Okay, the
funny.
Steelers. Yeah, that sounds cool. Oh, we got a guest in the car, a fly.
Yeah,
Is that yours?
must have got in with me.
Yeah, must have gotten. Oh, okay. So yeah, and then what else is Pittsburgh famous for? How many people live in Pittsburgh?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of live on the outskirts a little bit, out by the airport.
A
But
million?
I think
2
it
million?
used to be like a really big industrial town, so
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of blue collar workers and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Industry,
Yeah.
heavy machinery, big machines.
Steel.
and
Steel, yeah, steel
oh, there you go.
workers.
That makes sense. Yeah. Interesting. Well, one day I hope to visit. And so, why was Pittsburgh founded? Like, as in, did we just get mooned? Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm a
missed
guy.
that.
I couldn't help
Are they in a
noticing
car or
that.
were they standing on the sidewalk?
They were
Yeah.
standing. I'm not sure what they were doing, but yeah, that was.
Okay.
No, I think where Pittsburgh was, 3 rivers meet. What is it? The Allegheny, the Ohio, and the
Monongahela.
Monongahela.
So the
meet.
Ohio, I've heard of it. The other two,
They come
Never heard
to
of
a literal point.
okay.
Triangle.
And that's called the Point in Pittsburgh. And there used to be a fort there, Fort Pitt. And it used to be like a military back in the, I don't know what,
Is that how it got
Yeah.
started?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Huh. That makes so much sense, right? Because like rivers means transport, means trade,
Right.
Right.
and often used also as a defense
Right.
in those days. So that's why Pittsburgh started there.
Yes. Yeah.
And then from the fort, it grew out a little bit.
Yep.
Hmm.
And then it kind
I
of.
had to look up the population. It was 300,000.
Oh, 300,000. Interesting.
Oh, that is so small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said a million, I said, no, I don't think it's that
Yeah,
big.
no, it's definitely not that big. We're kind of a small city.
It is actually smaller than I thought. Because Pittsburgh is a renowned name. Everybody knows Pittsburgh. I mean, has heard of it. I haven't been there yet, but
Yeah, I didn't realize there was so little.
yeah. But often, like in Naples, they say there's like 40,000 people. But there's a lot more. But it depends on like where do you
Right.
draw the
That was just Allegheny County, which is the downtown area.
Oh yeah. So downtown is 300,000.
Yeah.
and with the whole conglomerate, it may be
Yeah.
a million or so.
Yeah.
Right.
With all the suburbs.
With all the suburbs, yeah. This is like Miami. Miami, where does it stop and where does it end?
Right.
And there's all these little towns that became part of Miami. And
Yeah, that's kind of like Pittsburgh. I feel like a lot of places call themselves Pittsburgh, where they're sort of the outskirts.
right. And there may have been other towns in the past.
Right.
But eventually they became part of Pittsburgh. But for me, it depends on like what do you put on the envelope. When I write you a postcard, what do I put as a city? And if that's Pittsburgh, then you're part of that conglomerate.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. Like for example, in Miami, I know that there's certain places like I always forget those names, but that used to be small towns. Now they're part of Miami. But when I write those people a card or whatever, I have to put Miami.
Oh, really?
So,
They're not
yeah,
there?
so it's part of Miami now. So, for how long were you guys here?
We came in last Saturday.
Saturday, so 1 week?
So we were here for the big
Nice.
windstorm. for
I was
a
just
few
gonna
days.
say, you picked the worst week.
I know,
It
yeah.
was spring break, so we...
This was spring break for you guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
I guess spring break is in all sorts of different weeks throughout.
Yes.
Some have the week earlier, some have the week later.
Right.
Okay. So mother and daughter, I presume?
Yes.
Yes.
Or two sisters?
Mother and daughter.
Mother and daughter. I mean, you're laughing, but the other day I had two ladies in the car. I
Yeah.
said, mother and daughter, I presume? And she said, what? No, we're sisters. Who was the mother? Oops.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah.
I know my sister was in the hospital for a little bit, and I was in there visiting, and I thought for sure someone's going to say mother, mother,
Oh,
daughter.
right.
Yeah.
That's
But they
fun.
didn't. I said sisters.
But so is she okay?
Yes.
Your
Yeah.
sister? What happened?
She got a kidney infection.
Oh,
That
ouch.
It was like around St. Patrick's Day. It was a while
yeah,
ago.
it was in March.
Okay. Still, that must be painful. Kidneys are sensitive organs. But she's okay.
She's good.
All right.
That's why we came down to celebrate her.
Her health, yes. Now that she has recovered. But yeah,
Well,
now
it definitely is nice to have a family member in sunny Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, she
Right.
lives in Cincinnati, but that is their place. They come down quite often.
Yeah, okay. So they're like snowbirds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, can I ask, what do you guys do?
I'm a VP of Marketing and Sales at a
VP.
healthcare IT company.
Healthcare IT company. Okay, so you're like, what does VP mean? Vice President?
Vice President, yeah.
So you own the company?
No.
No. What does a vice president do?
I don't know. They just...
No,
That's just her title.
Hey, this is YouTube. So your colleagues may want to check this out one day.
That's
She goes
just-
like, she has no clue.
that's
She's our
just
vice
her-
president. She has no clue.
Her title.
That's just her title. But it's,
They just
title.
tell everybody else what to do. That's what...
Yeah,
Vice
exactly.
president.
There you go.
You're the person in charge, making the calling the shots.
Are you part of the board or you're executive?
No.
Executive management.
Yes.
And so you under the president. So the president is the
CEO. Yes.
The CEO.
Yeah.
And then you are basically the second in command, so to speak.
Well, there's a COO, so he's also
course.
up there. So he's probably more the second in command.
COO, that is operations.
Chief Operating Officer.
Chief
yes.
Operating Officer. And then probably you have a CFO.
We don't. She's just a director of finance.
Director of... Funny how all these companies, they do their structures differently, eh?
Yeah.
Depending on the organization.
Yes.
They have certain needs.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that a VP, but also the CEO, they manage the course of the ship. So you get to talk to the board probably a lot, and then or board members or stakeholders or whatever, and
Yes.
then you have to make the ship sail.
Right.
You decide what course to take, what products to develop, and things like that, I suppose. So are you also an expert in health IT systems?
No, I also do marketing, but I actually do marketing for a medical cannabis company. So I am in the cannabis industry, medical marijuana.
Oh, interesting. I got a ton of questions for you. Oh no, wait, Mark, wait, no. I used to smoke, but that's a long time ago. No, I'm just kidding.
People usually do have a lot of questions.
Yes, a lot of, I'm used to a lot of questions when it comes to my profession.
So, I'm from the Netherlands.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah.
So cannabis and marijuana and
Right.
pot and whatever you want to call it, it's very common, very
Right.
normal, very regulated
Yeah.
in my country. I think it's a little too open, a little too easily accessible.
yeah.
Because like in Amsterdam, it's on every corner of the street,
Right.
and that's a little ridiculous. But it's a good thing that it's legal, and I like the way that the US does it with a medical twist. It is like medical marijuana.
It definitely has its challenges because each state can determine what they consider medical or not. So like what you qualify for in Florida, you can't qualify for in PA, and things like that. So it gets a little tricky, but it's getting there.
Yeah, it is medical also here in Florida, right?
Correct, yeah. Yeah,
Now,
and
can you mention some examples of medical? When can you go to your doctor and say like maybe marijuana is a good idea, or does the doctor always have to suggest it? Or
so right now I believe in the state of Florida you have to find a certifying provider. So these are providers that this state has recognized as reputable people that can give you a prescription or a recommendation for medical marijuana. So once you identify those doctors, which that could be like a normal doctor, or they have certifying kind of centers, sort of larger organizations that have teams of doctors or networks of doctors that they work with, and then you just kind of talk with them and they'll give you the recommendation. They'll go to the state and say like, yeah, they need medical marijuana, and then you get a card in the mail. It looks like a license, and then you just go. Certain states have limits. I don't know if Florida does. I know in PA we have a 90-day limit, but they don't specify what that looks like. So to each their own. It's at the dispensary's discretion.
Ah, interesting. And so it is not my regular doctor that will prescribe something like that. I will have to go to basically this specialist provider that will diagnose my case.
Yeah, so there are different, New York actually just passed the law that any doctor can recommend medical marijuana, and then Colorado actually just passed that any doctor, or I think it's therapist or psychiatrist, can give you a prescription. So I think it's starting to become a little more common, just because it is weird that you would not be able to go to your doctor who knows you and you've met with multiple times, and you have to go to these different doctors that really don't know you and things like that. So I think you'll see a change in the next couple of years.
it's still funny to me how society treats marijuana as this like boo, like this horrible
Yes.
drug
Yes.
that it's horrible for you, and you have to go through all these hoops
Yeah.
to then finally get it. Well, alcohol is so much worse.
Right.
Smoking cigarettes is so much worse.
Right.
And a little psychedelic is healthy for. I think psychedelics have been with society forever.
Yeah.
No matter what tribe or
Yeah.
society you look at, there's always like the mushrooms. There's been plants that do certain things, and sure, there has to be limits like cocaine and heroin.
Right.
Those are the plants that we don't want to do. It's a little. So yeah, there. What, marijuana? No, I'm surprised.
A lot of
at
their
that.
customers are veterans because they have PTSD
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people recovering from cancer because they don't want to take, some of the medications that the
Sure.
pharmaceuticals want you to take.
Right, the chemo's hard enough, so sometimes they like to do. And then, a lot of people that are going through chemo don't have appetite, and so they'll use cannabis to, give them the
Stimulate
munchies.
appetite.
Some people don't want the munchies, but in some cases you do, so.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I heard from someone in the car that it's as easy as saying that, oh, I have a sleeping disorder, I can't sleep, and then they'll just prescribe it to you.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get.
It sort of depends on the state, because PA recognizes anxiety, and then if you survived the pandemic, they consider you have anxiety. So it's super easy to get it in PA, but there are some states like Ohio and some states out west that it's really, really difficult. You sort of have to have some sort of terminal illness to get access, which is a little frustrating, but I think as things progress in other states will start to accept more conditions and things like that.
Well, at least I'm so happy that it's getting out of this boo-boo corner where it's illegal and where it's a crime to possess and all of these things. It's no longer like that, and so that reduces crime rate, I think.
Yeah.
And makes society better as a whole eventually. This is so enlightening. This is so interesting to have a specialist like that in the car. But what I don't know yet is, what do you do exactly? Are you...
So I do the marketing for, we're a company called Ethos. So we've got 16 locations in Ohio, PA, Maryland, and Mass. Those are dispensaries that we own. And then we also grow our own product in Ohio, Boston, and Philadelphia, and then we sell that and wholesale that to other dispensaries. So
as well.
there's a sort of a few things happening, but basically we do the growing and the selling.
And she does the advertising.
Yeah, and I do like the marketing and the advertising for it. So I send the emails out, the text, social media, all of that stuff.
You design the billboards.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The industry we work in is nice.
And it's probably a lot of growth. So
Yes.
It's probably growing.
Yeah, so I actually got into the industry in 2020.
Okay.
Was it
3
2020
years?
or 2021? 2020.
2020.
2020, and
Okay.
I was a patient. I had just gotten my card, and I went into a dispensary, and when I went in, on the way out, they said, we're hiring if you want to apply.
Oh, really?
And
It was
I
like that?
applied, and then I got hired as, working in the dispensary, as some people call them bud tenders, some people call them like product associates. I was there for 3 months, and then
Okay.
I got promoted to marketing, so I work from home now, which is nice.
You like it?
Yeah,
From home?
and I like it a lot. It's it's a very fast growing industry, but I feel like this is a good time in my life to experience that. So
Yeah. Sure that the competition is fierce out of California.
yeah,
That's where it got started, no?
yes, yeah. The thing
Those
is,
are the big boys.
it really can't cross state borders yet. They really haven't figured that
Oh.
out. So
You have to grow locally.
yeah, so
Oh,
everything,
interesting.
and yeah, you can't bring anything from outside.
So you
when-
can never try the good stuff from Morocco, for example.
Well, so there is one day a year in each medical state, and each medical state has a seed bank, which is quite literally a bank of different seeds and strains.
Okay.
And so one day a year, they drop the border meaning there are no, and you can bring in from other states seeds. So if there was something in California we wanted, and then
who made up this rule? This is
right, and then once the seed trade is over, then you can only work with what's in the bank. So it's tricky because normally we don't get, being on the East Coast, you know, things that are popular out in California, we won't get until 6 months to a year after they've been, you know, all the talk in California.
This is just like, it almost sounds like a comic book.
Yeah,
one day a year. So which day is that? March 16th?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but they do the seed exchange, and it's a big deal because I think that's when a lot of our grow teams, they put a ton of research and effort into figuring out like which seeds we want, and you know, they kind of do all the wheeling and dealing before the actual day, and then I think that day is just.
But not international, so
correct.
You cannot get the good stuff from Morocco.
Right, correct. Yeah, no.
I'm not sure why I'm saying Morocco, but that's something that lingers in
yeah, no, we're not there yet as a country. Hopefully we'll get there soon,
It's just too funny.
Yeah, so that's kind of
that must be a hectic day, though.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you got 50 states, 51, 52?
I don't know if they all do them on the same day, because I do know that California does allow, I think they do allow Washington State to bring product over. Like, you don't have to live in California, they can sell other states' products.
So each state really is, doing their own rules, and there are there still states that don't accept marijuana at all as medical? Oh, really? Yeah. Of course. Name me a few.
I'm trying to think of, I wouldn't say like Idaho probably doesn't. South Dakota. Wyoming.
South Dakota does not allow it.
Yeah, no. I think that it'll take them just a long time to.
South Dakota is very conservative, no?
yes, yeah.
To say the least, but.
I mean, Ohio just got it. A few states just got it.
Yeah, West Virginia just got it. The big thing I think that holds a lot of those conservative states back is if you do have your medical marijuana card, you cannot own a firearm.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
how is marijuana linked to firearms?
Right. So.
When I smoke pot, I want to go shooting.
That
doesn't make any sense.
That's kind of why these conservative states really aren't in any hurry, just because so many of them are gun owners that. I mean, I'm sure there's a loophole.
Well, in South Dakota, nobody can own a pot because everybody has a gun. That's what I've heard.
And Texas isn't medical either, so it's definitely interesting.
No, I mean, then they should ban alcohol and guns together.
Right.
So if you own a gun, no more drinking. That would be a good one, actually.
Yeah.
It would either reduce the number of weapons by half or the number of drinkers by half.
True.
Right? No, because alcohol provokes aggression. How do you say that?
Right.
People get more aggressive with alcohol.
Right.
Now with pot, it's the opposite.
Right. You get more like
laid back and easygoing, and
it's a strange rule, and people find loopholes around it. I think you can just not tell when you're signing up for a gun, you just don't tell them you have a card. However, I do think those state systems talk to each other, and then like you could get caught and they could say, we see here that you have an active medical marijuana card, and then they'll deny you. So
YouTube, this is not marijuana advice. This is not legal advice. This is no advice whatsoever.
Right. No.
We have no clue what we're talking about. But it is a little funny though that states are so different. It's also beautiful, honestly, because if the whole country has just one set of rules and one way of doing things, well, every state is different. Right. And people in South Dakota do have a very different living environment than here in Florida, and then in New York or then in California. So each state should have their own rules.
I agree. I think that's
it is beautiful, but it's also sort of funny because it's just this one product and it's rather harmless. But.
Yeah, and it's interesting because different governing bodies are over cannabis in different states. So in PA, the Department of Health is the governing body, where in Ohio is the Board of Pharmacy, which is you know, similar but a little bit different. So
Yeah. Well, this has been enlightening.
yes, it's definitely a taboo career.
Yeah, but actually, what I like about it is that, like in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, like every street has a coffee shop where you can just step in and buy it. And I think sometimes that goes a little too far. It's good that it has a little bit of bounce to it.
Yeah.
But it's not so easily accessible, because also 16 years old, they're officially not supposed to, but if you look a little big and strong,
right.
nobody's going to ask for your ID and you can just buy what you want. But that's not right. It's good that there's rules and that we keep the kids away as long as possible. And
yeah, no, it's definitely, it still has some things, like some kinks that need worked out, but
right.
I think that it's kind of moving in the right direction. Like
the one day seed trading day. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, there's some strange rules with all of that and the seed bank and things like that.
Yeah.
Well, and then the advertising is very regulated.
Yes.
What they can say and
what
say.
you can say and where you can say it probably also.
Yes.
Right, because like up in Boston, where it's recreational, you can show people consuming together, hanging out, like, you know, and that's good advertising. But in Ohio, you're not allowed to do any of that. So
you make the advertising for both?
I don't make the I work with our designer, but yeah, I get all the approvals and things. So I'm the person that submits them to the governing bodies and things like that.
Yeah.
Just a lot of paperwork, but that's okay.
It's funny how you actually both working in the medical field in a way.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
She's working in healthcare. I'm working in the devil's healthcare. Or what is it? The devil's botany. So my dad wanted me to be
no, he didn't.
or I wanted to be a botanist. My dad did not want me to be a botanist.
What is a botanist again?
Like flowers and plants.
Oh yeah.
And so here I am working in plants, just a different type of plant.
Just to rub it in.
Right? In a roundabout way, I told him
what did Dad say about that?
He can't say anything because...
He can't say anything?
Well, he said if I knew back then how big this would become, he probably would have let her be a botanist. He just didn't feel like there was any market for a botanist.
Right. He didn't think about this type of botany.
Right, I'm sure. But it does take decades, these things, because I remember many years where it was legal in the Netherlands and Americans would come to the Netherlands to smoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Because here it was illegal. And Amsterdam was very known for that.
Right.
And it was one of the few countries in the world where you could just openly smoke marijuana.
Right.
That was not allowed in most countries. And
yeah, and now it's pretty regular.
It's a good thing. But Dad is not here with the group, so he's back at home, or are you divorced, or?
I'm sorry.
Where's your husband?
Yeah, he's at home. We have a son too, so he stayed home. Because my son didn't want to take off work.
Oh, okay. What does Dad do?
He's an electrical engineer.
Electro engineer.
They do maintenance on power and nuclear plants. His company.
Nuclear plants.
Yes.
Well, next time, please bring him. I have some questions for him as well.
We're an
it's sort of
family.
interesting. Yeah, I'd say. Now, here comes the last question. What does son do?
He's IT.
IT as well.
Yeah, just computers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to hire him soon?
He actually works for my company.
He does.
He
You
works
see?
for her,
Good for him.
That's his first job, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if having your mom as a boss.
No, I'm not his boss. He just works for our company.
Yeah, no, he's under.
They wouldn't let that happen.
But working with your mom, I've worked with her for 3 years as a receptionist, so it's definitely interesting.
You have worked with her.
Yes, yeah. So before I got into cannabis, I was working for her, and that's actually the reason why I kind of left, because I would never be able to work in marketing because she was the VP of marketing, and they wouldn't let, you know, her be my boss. So it kind of worked out because I really didn't have a lot of growth in that company.
It's still funny though how you guys all sort of like, well, I guess that's what parents and kids tend to do, is you all sort of work in the same field.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Not really, but on the other hand, yes. But I guess, yeah, you see that a lot.
But if you would have asked her when she was a freshman in college, what do you want to do? And she would say, I don't want to do what you do, and I don't want to do what Dad does.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
But she knew what she didn't want to do.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
And if you would have told me that I would be doing what I'm doing, I don't think I would have believed you.
Well, traffic's not too bad. A little bit.
Don't jinx us. Yeah, they were telling.
It's 14 minutes, we're almost there.
Yeah, we saw that where 75 was shut down because of the brush fire.
Oh, did you hear about yesterday that Fort Lauderdale airport got flooded?
Yes. If they showed a picture, an airplane had water up to its stomach.
Can you believe it? I've never heard about that.
That's crazy.
Before.
I know a lot of people.
Torrential rains that just flood an airport.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, have they never heard of ditches, canals? There
came
need
so
to be
fast.
waterways that floated off, but
Yeah.
the rain must have been so hard
Yes.
that everything was just coming up.
And
Wow.
people were coming back to their cars, like after they got flown from the
Oh, and they were
airport, and they're
flooded.
imagine you're gone a week for work and you come back and your car is underwater. Like, not good. Not good.
It's the weirdest thing.
How far is Fort Lauderdale from here?
An hour and a half.
2 hours.
Oh.
It's on the opposite side.
Mm.
East Coast.
It's very convenient. A lot of people take the Uber over there as well.
Mm.
This is shorter by car, but it's often more expensive to fly from.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on where you fly to, though.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on the line and everything. Yeah. So what time is your flight?
Later. It's 7. It's at 7.
Oh, you have plenty of time.
Yeah.
That's good.
We like to get there early.
Yeah. Grab a bite to eat.
Right. Relax.
Oh, you guys are gonna go to dinner at the airport?
Yeah.
There's actually one little shop, I don't remember what the name is, something with, has good sandwiches and stuff. And there's one restaurant also, I believe. But this is Fort Myers that you're talking about. This is not like a lot of choice.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
kind of a small airport.
It is.
Yeah, it's very small.
Because it's not in it. Is it international or no?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
it is.
Most people arrive, it is international,
Mm.
but most flights are domestic.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, am I saying that right? No, it's not international. It's only domestic, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So most people arrive at the airport like an hour before the flight.
Right.
That's what my sister said. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that.
They're always late for everything,
Right.
now, so we didn't trust that.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss this warm weather.
Sunny.
Yeah, it's so sunny.
And doing nothing but sitting on the deck.
Yes.
Did you guys get at least a few nice days or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
We did.
What else did you do?
I think
Nothing.
that's.
Was this your first time in Naples or no?
No.
No, because your sister's there.
Yeah, we've been a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
We really didn't do anything. We went to downtown Naples one day
Mm-hmm.
and had lunch.
It's nice.
Went to the
And walk on the
shops.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did sunset
Yes,
at the
close to
beach last
Yeah,
night.
yeah, nice.
But no, it was just nice to.
Relax.
Not have anything to do.
Yes.
That is nice. Read a good book.
Yes, in the warm The warm weather is helpful.
Mm.
It helps.
Vitamin. You know, you get vitamin D from the sunshine.
Right.
Right.
So
Which we don't get a lot of in Pittsburgh.
Must be another fire.
something happened here, yeah. Because that's why traffic is slow, because everybody has to watch. See fire truck, see police cars.
Way for you to go back, or do you have to sit in that?
No, what usually happens is I get a ride into Fort Myers.
Oh, okay.
In this case, I'll probably take a side road, take a shortcut.
Yeah.
But it depends on what the map calculates is fastest.
Oh, right.
Or otherwise I'll just be standing in traffic. But usually what happens after a ride to the airport is a ride into Fort Myers.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, I just take one ride after the other until I'm tired of it, and then I, wherever I'm at, I go home.
Uh-huh.
So usually I drive from 3 till 9-ish.
Okay.
Today's Friday night. I don't have any plans with my wife, so I think I may be driving a few more hours.
Well, and everything shuts down at 9 o'clock in Naples. Seems like.
Yeah, Naples closes early.
It's true. Yeah, it's a very small town. And yeah, we don't have any dinner plans, so I think I just keep driving a little bit to make some good cash.
Right.
Like Friday night, Saturday night are the best nights to drive for Uber.
Oh, for sure.
But I don't like to drive too late because then you get all the drunks.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm just sick and tired of those, and so I don't do that anymore. But yeah, you never know, you know. I mean, I cannot
Right. That's
control
always
it really.
unpredictable.
Yeah, and I also don't refuse them, but I just don't like doing it.
Right.
So once I get those, then that's the last ride,
That's
and I
it,
go
right?
home. Yeah, that's it. No.
I would be that way too.
That's funny.
But you know, I mean, there's such nice people, and they're so nice when they're drunk. And there's just the excuse my language, the a-hole that
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
has to be too aggressive or just,
Right.
yeah, it really depends on
Annoying or yeah.
the mood. Yeah. Like a little bit of alcohol is usually fun.
Right.
Those are fun people.
Yeah,
They have
but
a
then
good
there's the
mood. They're singing in the car and all of that. But then when they're just completely knocked out and they're ready to puke, no, thank you.
Right.
Right?
You don't want that in your car.
Yeah, no. It takes days before that smell goes away. Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to handle that.
no. I try to avoid that.
It's like
And if I see that somebody's wasted that much, then I can refuse them.
right.
Yeah, in this case, I had a lot of fun talking about some hot topics, so to speak, which is just entertaining to me. And you know, as long as I felt like that was a nice discussion, and
Yeah. I feel like you probably learn a lot too from
I do.
listening to people.
I do.
Asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the fun parts of driving for Uber, for sure. You learn a lot, also about the country, about
Yeah.
America as a society. Very interesting. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I know. I guess I was caught off guard because no one even asks us about Pittsburgh, because
I know.
when you say it, everyone
Yeah.
knows it, and that's
That's
kind of where
it.
it ends.
Yeah.
Asking the population, I'm like, oh gosh, I should know that.
Right, I know. Now I'm gonna have to keep that
Brush up on your history.
number in my head in case anyone asks.
Oh, which airline?
We're
Delta.
Delta.
I think it's a different terminal. I think that's a
No, there's only
only
one
one?
terminal.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's after you
Oh,
go.
when you go out.
Yeah.
I just remember Paul saying
No,
they
it's
do
like
Frontier.
when you go in, you either take a left or right after you get your ticket.
Delta down there.
Delta's down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's the Fort Worth airport. That's like a spiral with the different levels. That's a nightmare. It
Yeah,
took
that sounds
Kayla
like
like an hour to find me.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you off here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect. Go out your way.
Here you go.
Oh, why are you doing this one?